Hi guys, today we're going to make Supersoil. To make Supersoil you need Pro Mix vegetable and herb, dolomitic lime, bone meal, some muriate of potash, kelp meal, make sure it's nodosum kelp, some measuring cups and a blender, some seedling mix, as well as some vermiculite and a drill to mix it all up. You'll also need a large container to put everything in for the mixing. First, let's start with the base mix. Add 1 cup of bone meal to your blender. Bone meal is an excellent source of nitrogen and phosphorus, both which your plants need. Next, add 1/4 cup of muriate of potash. Muriate of potash is very concentrated stuff, so you only need 1/4 cup, and it has to be ground very fine for the base mix. Then add 1 cup of dolomitic lime. Dolomite, as it's known, is very important for plants. It's a source of calcium and magnesium, as well as pH stability. This is the product that keeps your soil at 6.5. Using your blender, grind well, making sure you shake it about and get it to a nice fine powder. Mark one of your bags with a big H or with tape, whatever you like, just to identify it from the rest. Then open the bag and add this powdered mix into it. Next, add 1 cup of kelp meal. This stuff is amazing. Make sure it's nodosum kelp, N-O-D-O-S-O-M, nodosum kelp. Stuff's amazing. The next step is to add 2 more cups of dolomitic lime. That's 3 cups of dolomite in total, 1 cup ground in the initial mix, and then 2 cups of unground dolomitic lime pellets directly into the soil. Now you have to mix up everything really well. You can try and mix it in the bag. This is somewhat difficult, but it does work. But I recommend using a blue box or some similar container, pouring the whole mix inside of it and giving it a very, very thorough mixing. It is important that it be mixed very thoroughly. This not only mixes the ingredients, but it also breaks up the soil into very small parts, making it very easy for the plant to both root and uptake those nutrients. Once it's mixed really well, you can put the soil back in the bag. It's very important that you do this because you have to let the soil cook for 28 days. Now you won't be adding any heat to it. What you do is seal the bag up and let it sit for 28 days, and the microbes will do the work on their own. For the next part, you will need 2 more bags of Pro Mix vegetable and herb, as well as 1 small bag of Pro Mix vermiculite, bone and blood meal, dolomitic lime, and the nodosum kelp mix. In your recycling bin or similar container, add 1 bag of Pro Mix vegetable and herb, 1 bag of vermiculite or perlite, your choice. Then add more dolomitic lime, 2 cups in total on the top mix. This stuff is so important to have, guys. I cannot stress enough. Cal Mag for the soil. You want to add 1 cup of bone meal to this top mix, and then 2 cups of that nodosum kelp meal. That contains a PGR. PGRs are plant growth regulators. They greatly and naturally enhance growth in your plants and provide all kinds of minerals that you can't get from any other product. Mix these products very, very well. As you can see, it's a heavy vermiculite mix. When you're done, the mix should be very light and airy and very hydroponic. I'll sit everything back in the bag for 28 days to let it cook and get ready to start potting. Well, it's been 28 days and our soil is done cooking, so now it's ready to pot them into your planters. To start, you'll need your base mix that you made earlier, which is very hot, your top mix, which is very hydroponic, 2 solo cups, 1 cup of sugar. I'll be using turbinado. You can use brown sugar or powdered molasses. Some seed starting mix, which you will use for the core. You will also need some planters and trays. I like the 3-gallon. They're perfect for 3 months. Make sure you get the drip trays for them. You will need them for this process. This soil mix is set up into 3 parts. The first bottom third is made from the base mix, which contains very little vermiculite and is very high in the muriatic potash. You want to fill this 1/3 of the base. Now, before we use our top mix as a filler, we're going to give it some carbohydrates. Carbohydrates come in the form of sugars. I'm going to use turbinado sugar right in the soil and mix it up. So just add 1 cup of sugar and mix well. It's important that you add the sugars because they are the food source for the mycorrhizae bacteria that your roots require to break down the small minerals. Next, use your top mix, which is very hydroponic, contains a lot of vermiculite, and fill the top 2/3 up to the line of the pot. And the third part of the mix is using the solo cup to make a divot in the top mix. Just move it around gently, trying not to compress the cup. Then just backfill it with a little bit of the top mix and pat it down gently. You want to make it level to start because you need to press it down very, very gently. Now, remove 1 of the 2 cups, leaving the second one in place, which will hold its shape. Cut some holes in the bottom of your solo cup for drainage. This is extremely important. Then add some seed starting soil to the mix. After, you can put the core back in and pop your lid back on top. If it doesn't fit, just give it a day and it will settle, and then pop the lid on. And now you're going to mix up your top dressing. The top dressing is used at week 4. You simply bag up some of the base mix, mark it as a bloom dressing, and add it on top of your soil and water through the day you flip your plant to 12-12. This will provide your plant crucial potassium and phosphorus needed for flowering. Planting is just as easy. Simply remove the core, select a clone, add 1 cup of water to the core, punch a hole with your finger, and root the clone. Be very gentle with the roots, turning them in very gently. You can then place it under 5000 K LED for approximately 2 weeks to root. To plant your clone, simply remove the container core, insert your rooted clone, and just add water start to finish.